welcome back everyone to GI Customs channel. This is the second episode in the Law of Order. If you missed the first one, go back and watch it. This one's about the canine. I am basing this version, my version of it, off of my own dog. He is a purebred German Shepherd from Slovakia. His lineage, or his father, actually was a police canine here locally. So he's got some more realism to him, but definitely has a very textured fur color, not your normal saddleback German Shepherd. So more of a working dog color scheme. So I'm going to try to match the best I can here. It's definitely going to take some layers and some dry brushing and different things to build up to a color scheme that I'm happy with. So I'll let you enjoy some music here, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be back. We're going to start with some more of the detail in the fur. I am going to start with a paintbrush, though I do quickly find out that dry brushing is going to be a better option. But that being said, here you'll see I'm using my little popper from Amazon. That's what I use for all my paints. If you haven't watched my videos before, there is a link in the description below. You can pick up your own. Get a few pennies out of every sale if you help me out that way. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps me continue to do these videos and do this work for everyone. So sit back and relax, and I'll chime back in when something changes. some of the main coloring done with the paintbrush, some of the lighter stuff. From here on out, I'm going to be doing dry brushing, as I mentioned. If you haven't done dry brushing before, it's definitely it helps with a certain kind of paintbrush. Some of these that are more round with short bristles work a lot better with dry brushing. Something to keep in mind as well is to make sure you have something there. I use a paper towel. Some people have textured pieces of plastic. They sell specific dry brush ones. I don't know that you need that specifically unless you're going for a certain look. But I've become pretty good at just knowing how much paint to get off the end of my paintbrush to get about where I want. You can always add another layer. It's real hard though to recover, I guess, from putting too much paint on initially. So if you're going to err on one side, definitely err on the side of not enough paint. Like I said, you can always put another layer on, but it's more difficult to get the layer off if you went too heavy initially. that I have the lighter browns basically at a point where I want them, I'm going to go back over with a dry brush black. It's going to darken up some of the areas that I maybe went a little too light on. Also going to bring out some of the black again from the base coat, as well as just give it another layer of depth. Anytime you can add some to it, especially if you went a little too light or something like I did here in certain areas, it's really going to work in your favor to add some more layers and stuff to it. There's very few times, especially when you're working with any kind of fur or whatever, it's going to add depth to it. It's going to add more realism. It's definitely going to add to what you've already done. Remember too, you can always go back over it again if you need to. Now that I have the color of the fur basically where I want it, I am going to be using some gloss black here, not just regular black. Don't use gloss very often. I usually do everything in matte. But in this case, both the nose and the eyes I am going to put gloss on. Don't know if it's going to come out in video or the pictures, but in real life it does make a big difference. The small things like that, the gloss versus matte, it really brings more realism and more depth to any of your paint style. As I'm wrapping up here, I really want to say thank you to everyone for watching this far. Definitely like and subscribe if you can. Leave a comment down below. Really helps me out, get the videos out to more people to see them. Also in the comments, let me know what you would do different. Would you do this type of color scheme on a canine like this, or do you do something all black, or leave it the same? Really interested in seeing what everyone else would do or what they have done. If you got pictures, post those in the comments. That'd be great. Thanks again, and don't forget to like and subscribe.